There's a guy on YouTube who has an 80-watt laser. He's got a big channel, has probably 5,000 people following him all the time on his channel. But I noticed that when he cuts plywood, he's using like a 90% power. I use a 30 to 35% power. It'll actually cut every single time at 30% power on this 80 watt. And I run it between 7 and 12 speed. And it just depends on how flat my plywood is. If it's not very flat, I'll run it at 7. If it's very flat, I'll run it at 12. So 12 speed and 32 power cuts right through it like it's butter. You can see that. The last thing you want to do is run your laser at 90% power just to cut a little bit of plywood. And if it's leaving burn marks everywhere, other than you see on the names there, but when it's cutting, it shouldn't be leaving any burn marks, because if it is, it means it's not focused. So anyway, I'll take you over here to my computer real quick, and I'll just show you what these settings are running right now. And you can see I'm running, this was for the engraving of the names, and this right here is cutting. And that's because the plywood, I would have these normally at 12 and 32. But since my plywood's a little bit warped, I just run it through anyway. It's not warped enough that I need to put a clamp down. You can see I have a little clamp right there. But anyway, just thought I would tell you guys that don't run your lasers. Well, I guess the best thing to do, you know, they talk about doing a ramp test, you know, but I think the best thing to do is what I do. When I try out a new lens to get the best focus, I cut circles. And when those circles drop out at the lowest power and the fastest speed, that's it. That's the perfect setting. And the other thing you need to know is which lens to use when. The best lens to use for words is like a 1.5 inch lens. This right here is a 2-inch lens, I believe it is. And it's fantastic for cutting, but it is absolutely horrible for letters, I think, when you can use a 1.5. Anyway, I just wanted to say, I know you guys are following that guy out there. I think he's laser everything, but there's some things that he does that just, you know, it might work for him, but man, the last thing I want to do is run my laser to cut this little cheap plywood at 90% power. Something to think about.